Do you mind if I walk with you? I mean, your house is in the same direction as mine. Flawless transition into dialogue. Okay. I nod indifferently and wait for her to catch up so that we can continue onward. Whatever you want. But how exactly do you know where I live? Why wouldn't I know, Sian? I stop. Was half joking, but her answer is too large of a red flag for me to ignore it. Yes, seriously. Seriously what? About my address, how do you know it? I followed you home before, so there's no mystery to it. I thought that you were more intelligent than this, Sian. What else could it be? Straight into the weirdness. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Impossible to compute logic. Please contact the manufacturer immediately. Claire, I probably shouldn't ask this, but considering my criminal record, but how would you feel if I told you that I've secretly been following you around? I reckon she'd love it. Well, why not? Everyone is free to do whatever they want. I'll get straight to the point since we aren't getting anywhere. Is your room filled with pictures of me on all your walls or anything like that? Of course not. Don't you have any sense of taste? Such a self-centered style wouldn't be good for the feng shui, Xian. I can sense legitimate displeasure coming from Claire as we speak, as sincere as everything that comes from her. It doesn't detract from the importance of her words though, but it certainly makes them appear even more bizarre. I'm gonna get serious because we still aren't getting anywhere. Please, try to give me a clear explanation for all of this. I don't see the problem here, but okay. I want to know why you choose to approach me. All those emails suddenly coming out of nowhere, and now you're telling me that you've been stalking me. Yes. If you wanted to speak with me, it would have been easier to, I don't know, ask. Why did you have to go make it so complicated? Say Alan, we've already discussed this. We have? You're never going to calm down until you find the answer that suits you the most. Not the truth, am I right? Oh yeah. Back to that. Claire shakes her head displeased, with no intention of responding any further. Nevertheless, because I refuse to give in, she reluctantly decides to speak once again. Would you have considered it any less weird if I'd spoken to you directly out of nowhere? Would you have remembered me all the same if I was normal? I can see her breath as she huffs out those two questions. She's highly offended, but shouldn't I be the one that's upset in this situation? I don't know, man. Why wouldn't I remember you? Had you wanted to make some sort of impact on me before we met? No, Sihan, no. It's the exact opposite. Disheartened, she turned away from me and keeps walking along. Maybe impossible to see the problem when I don't even understand what she means. Or maybe I'm unable to achieve anything if I only stand back and watch. Claire, wait! I'm not going to change my answer, even if you keep asking. I want to know one more thing. Something I almost completely forgot about. If it... I knew it. If it was true that you were the one who sent me those emails, then what happened to the order I made online? Where did my package go? That, yeah. If I remember correctly.
You don't know where it is.
Great. Do you think I'd ask that if I'd already knew the answer? Seriously, you should have recovered it already. Maybe you don't recognize it. What are you saying? Can't you tell me what you did with it? Me? Nothing. You don't already know about it. I have no idea where it could be, but I'll investigate. Must be somewhere. But it could still be on its way, don't you think? I've already checked the tracking and said it was delivered. Poor Sian, see? It's like I told you. You have everything backwards. Backwards? But what do you mean? Will you ever explain anything in a way that I can understand clearly, please? A few minutes later, Claire says goodbye to me at the intersection where our routes split off. I'm too exhausted to continue any longer with our incoherent dialogue. For now, it's just easier for me to believe in her. Believe in the lovely girl that follows me everywhere, and thinks that nothing bad can ever happen. I must stay by her side, even despite the facts of the matter. I decided to stop questioning her and leave it for another day. For now, I'll simply have to have faith. Have faith in the girl that stalks me. Alright. Sure, let's go. Capenero! I need your chemistry notes. Yeah, I'm not good at chemistry either, mate. My notes, you. Are you sick or something? It's me. The one who always steals your notes? I mean, borrow them. Yeah. Gonna give them to me or not? I can't be the only one who's noticed Oz's personality change. What's wrong, Oz? You alright, Oz? Alright. We'll fix it for you. He's been like this all week, ever since that meeting with the committee. Any good friends would know, would be worried over and wouldn't have asked him what's wrong or how he feels. Thanks God, I'm not one of those friends. I have a slight idea of what thoughts he could be harboring. And I'm pretty sure it's stupid, but I'm getting annoyed by all of his saying. I guess I'll risk it and ask him about it. It's none of my business, you know, so you don't have to tell me if you don't want to, so stop sighing. But, what's wrong with you? You aren't the fittest to ask that, sir. Everyone has bad days. I almost ran out of empty pages in my notebook, and I will have to buy a new one soon, for example. Those 5 minutes it takes me to go to the arts and crafts store to buy a new one are always terrible. You have to talk to human beings, wait in line, stuff like that. Are you comparing shopping at an arts and crafts store with my issues, Compenero? You have no heart. It's all your fault. Huh? What? What have I done now? I've done many things. Please, be more specific. Don't tell me that you're still bothered by what happened with Claire. Don't you see? You've broken the invisible wall that divides the truth from lies. Now nothing can stop my libido from controlling your mind. Ah, yes, alright. And what happens to the bar and the beach, if I may ask? We're facing eviction because we're built in a protected area. Those ecologists won't stop at it until they have our heads chopped off. Ah, yes. So you've been thinking about it and now you're punishing yourself because being attracted to someone with the body of a little girl doesn't change the fact that you're attracted to little girls. Yes. Maybe it's just easier if you paid attention to something that isn't a physical trait. I don't know, her personality, for example. Her perky what? Why do I even bother? You don't get it, Compenero. It's not just that. We're supposed to be a duo, right? I'm the handsome, elegant, dandy one, and you're the... well, you know. Me, what? Finish that. Suddenly, there's a lot of girls surrounding you. Where does that leave me? I don't know, quarterback? You're so funny. I'm serious. Serious. That's never been an issue for you. All the cute girls in the world belong to you. Isn't that your motto? Maybe. You're right about that, Compenero. As you know, I'm a free spirit who's able to adapt to any situation. What I'm interested in is your opinion. Are you going to take responsibility? Unlike you, I don't have a magnet embedded in my pelvis, so that so many women have suddenly appeared in my life doesn't mean anything. Love is a two-way street, see ya. It's like that regardless of if you're on the receiving or giving end, even if when there's indifference. I hope you didn't think... I hope you didn't think you have to adjust yourself to anyone else's preferences, even if it's hard because no one else really knows their preferences. You ever tried knowing your own preferences? It's difficult, man. So if I end up admitting that I like little girls, then I shall accept it, and you should do the same. In short, you want someone to tell you that you're not a sexual predator, and that should be sent to jail. That's not all, but please, do tell me that I'm not a monster. You're not a monster. Can we have a little experiment to test it out? You're always talking about oddies, but you never mentioned where you draw the line for women to fit into that group. As long as they fulfill the minimum requirements, their origins, height, weight, race, and cup size doesn't matter. Although, the cup size is a plus. And what's the minimum? Dunno, a minimum? Who has the right to define the features that makes a woman an angel? You could consider it a sixth sense of mine. Fair enough. But there must be a limit, and I've come up with a way to test it out. We can start with some obvious features and move on from there. Listen to me carefully, okay? You have to imagine your perfect woman, understand your ideal girl. But let's change some of the details about her, alright? You have to tell me if, even though after those changes, you're still attracted to her or not. So we can move on from there. That's I guess, a good way to do it. My ideal woman, maybe something like Ziva, I guess. Terrible taste. Terrible. You sure? Alright. But I'm not the one to intervene. Yeah, let's start with something easy if you feel up to it. Imagine your ideal woman, but she's missing an eye, and she wears an eye patch. Would you still like her? Hell yeah. Whoa. Sorry, which eye are we talking about? The left or the right? I don't know, doesn't matter. Of course it matters. That way I know which cheek I can steal a kiss from, without her ever noticing. Hey, that's good. Give me a second. Gotta puke. You probably think you sound like Samus Casanova or something. And if instead of an eye patch, it's a lazy eye. One of those ones that look everywhere except where you should. A good excuse for me to get lost in her gaze. If you keep it up with those types of answers, I'm out. You're just jealous of my poetic talent. The word you're looking for is ashamed. And what do you think about the unstable girl? Just like your ideal woman, but she's bipolar. 2 is always better than 1. Being with her would be like a threesome. Think about it. Ah, glorious. As if you've ever thought of that in your entire life. Then what if she's deaf, mute, for example? Let's talk, my love. What's wrong with that? What about a blind one? You can see the important things within your heart. Burned. If she had half of her body burned, I'm sure that wouldn't be able to handle it. Should burn anyways. And the fire of my passion. No arms. Easier to hug. No legs. She wouldn't even need them when I carry her bridal style all the time. Besides, legs are an inconvenient obstacle for. Enough. What is wrong with you? You don't care in the slightest about people's conditions or what? It could be Mrs. Potato Head changing her body parts and you still wouldn't mind. I mean, that's fair enough. Hey, you're the ones in love with plastic figures. As long as they're alive, it's fine by me. I'm starting to doubt that. Well, if it was a zombie girl, I can't say that I wouldn't. What? Why are you looking at me like that? I'm a perfectly normal human being. While I ponder about on which distant planet my respect for this man resides upon, Ziva enters the classroom quite excitedly. News. Tell me the news, Ziva. As soon as she sees us, she comes over with her usual greeting. Hello, Earthlings. Hello. How are my favorite guys? Hey. We were just talking about you, Ziva. I'm pretty sure that Dingus here is lying. So to prove him wrong, I have to gouge one of your eyes out. You don't mind, right? Wait, what do you mean? Catch one of my eyes out? What? What are you going to do with that pen? I was thinking about drawing an eye patch on your face, considering I don't have a real one. But if you'd prefer that I really do gouge out your eyes, then, we can do that. Not a step closer. You're exhibiting symptoms of severe psychosis. Stop before... Ah! As I try to grab hold of Ziva, she trips over a table situated behind her and falls on top of it. Cornered, I grab both of her wrists with one of my hands, and with the other, I remove the cap of the pen. Right now, we could just try and see how you look without legs. I'll start making the cuts like a surgeon. Stop. Don't go putting anything down there, it hurts. Don't do it on me, no! Come on, it's like a plan. This couldn't possibly hurt. It's not that big a deal. I don't care, what? Were you looking... Nah. Oh. I should have guessed the bad luck that I've been having lately, but as I follow Ziva's eye, I find the new substitute teacher Stanley watching us from the doorway. Oh my, let me guess. You came running when you heard Ziva screaming. Don't go putting anything down there, alright? The frightened teacher nods. Oh. Let me tell you something. It's exactly what it looks like. That's not true. Don't make it worse. They're not going to believe me anyway. This way it's more original and unexpected. Let's have some fun. Seriously, Endyne, seriously. After another of our usual incidents, we enjoy a free hour between classes during which we must spend time studying. Ziva takes the opportunity to get closer to me, sitting directly in front of me and dropping her books on my desk. If your idea is actually to study, you're heading in the wrong direction. The one with good grades and nods. What's wrong with you guys today? Thinking that I'm some kind of model student. You know precisely why I'm here, Endyne. Do I? Are you still mad about before? You know I love teasing you, so I wasn't going to do anything. Well, nothing lethal at least. Mad, quite the opposite. You've shown a proximal attitude that I've never seen before. It's amazing progress. I think I'm closer to diagnostics now. Oh god. I'm starting to believe that you're the one who needs a psychologist. First, it was the vegan thing, and now it turns out that you're a masochist too. I should have seen that coming. What do you mean? I'm not a masochist. And those have nothing to do with the other. Since when was being hungry fun? You see, they're totally related. Total masochist. I've told you a million times that. Forget it. I know that you're only trying to annoy me. Annoy you? Just your imagination. I'm a traveling oasis. The shoulder to cry on for the dying man. Right before you got here, I was helping Oz get through one of his hardest times yet. What kind of problems can Oz have anyway? Girl problems. Something about his role and taste in women. I remember him saying something about perking things, but nothing else. You aren't even trying to sound interested. You may not take Oz seriously, but of how lively he normally is. But you shouldn't take others' issues in love so lightly. I said perky things, not love issues. They belong to the same category depending on the situation, but not in this case. Endyne, the concept of romanticism can vary from one person to the next. Each is free to love in their own way, no matter how lutish they may be in the process. You aren't taking into consideration the number of victims they can leave behind. Yeah. Come on, don't exaggerate. Deep down, Oz is actually wonderful in his own way. Anyone who's with him will surely be lucky. Did you say that, Ziva? Yeah. Everything is happiness and rainbows until someone gets hurt. Aren't you supposed to be the super busy preparing 1,000 things for the graduation parties? That's what you've been telling us all week. Don't try to change the subject. All the plans are under control. I'll assign more work as it comes. Let's go back to the concerns me. Why would anyone get hurt? I don't know. We're talking about Oz. Everything ends badly with him, you know? Like the hedgehog dilemma. Maybe really cute, but you can't get close without being poked. Oz is one of those people who mostly concerns only himself and doesn't realize how big his spines are. I don't mean that in a bad way, it's just that, you're giving him too much credit. But this way, it's more interesting if they manage to finish the puzzle, don't you think? Puzzle? Loves a puzzle. The opposite contraposition. The anima and anima syzygy. Syzygy? I don't know. Where each term represents the true unconscious of women and men, respectively. Well, we shouldn't take the gendered part of it too seriously nowadays. It's mostly a way to exemplify it. If you're gonna start on one of your boring speeches, right? You better tell me, because I'm not listening. That's not true. It's really interesting. You must consider it part of the collective unconsciousness. I mean, like a part of us that we absorbed from the outside wire without realizing it. Ziva taps on my desk with her index finger 3 times before pausing. She takes a second to think and rolls her eyes until it finally decides how to proceed. Ah, one way of looking at it is if you started in a vacuum. On a blank canvas, like a vacuum of space. Your possibilities there are infinite. You can fill the vacuum any way you want. However, you have to decide what is most important to you, what isn't. Basically, find something to love. An actual vacuum, like suck. But how do you know what to love? Every single action in this world creates a contrary and incomprehensible part of us that tells us which to possess. The target of our affection is forged deep inside of us without our consent, as intangible as our very soul, but more real than it is. We only realize it when it becomes large enough that we must sacrifice those infinite possibilities we were given at the beginning to follow after that new direction. Though it's normal in the beginning to not really know what it is that you desire, which once again makes the target inside of us change. Living on until our next chance, ripening until we choose to fall in love again. Get to the point. And when the animus inside of you finally finds its corresponding anima, the piece of the puzzle will fit together. You know, I am tempted to skip through this. When the spines of the 2 hedgehogs perfectly fit between each other harmlessly. Blah, blah, blah. With a frisky wink, Ziva ends her lecture, attributing herself to a new victory. The victory of getting me more bored than usual. I rest my chin on the palm of my hand, like I was just doing, displeased with how I always end up having to put up with her insufferable chattering. Why? My whole life has been a lie. I thought that Animus was just the Japanese cartoon. Yeah, probably. Anime. That's anime. No, Anima is a manga book. I actually got it down there. It's good. I like it. Anima Plus. Go read it. Can you ever take anything that I say seriously at all? Your spines are too long, so I'm scared. Please understand. If you say so, Endine, then it must be true. The bell signifies study hours and all the classmates start picking up their belongings and getting ready for the next session. Ziva is no exception. With her arms full of textbooks, Ziva closes her eyes and tries to remember an important quote, one she knows with extreme precision. Where love rules, there is no will to power, and where power predominates, love is lacking. The one is the shadow of the other. Oh, continue. The power that controls over the possibilities of the future go hand in hand with your feelings. You can't separate the feeling from how the feels about others. It's an inescapable inevitability. It's during the synergy culmination that one can't do anything but choose. I want to believe that's why it was named the synergy. It's not a word of psychology origin, you know. After cleaning up, Ziva takes the rest of her books under her arms. Ah, yes, yeah, I know. Syzygy is an astronomical term, yeah. Exactly, smart guys. Sometimes I think you know everything. Well, Endine, see you later. Thank God. Ziva says goodbye with the usual grace, turning away from me to sit in her desk. Bye. Let me enjoy learning, I guess. Meanwhile, leaning against my chair, close to my eyes, and hope for some peace and quiet after the exhausting food for thought that Ziva had tossed me. Syzygy. How couldn't I know about it? Aye. Back in the library. Still up to meet Lucy, yes. Unless our stalker friend followed us. I wonder. I wonder. What's gonna happen in this story? So obviously it comes to my attention now that it's definitely a love story. I didn't think that before, but I thought I might as well say it in words. It's a love story, hey? So it's either going to be, obviously, Claire, Luce, maybe Ziva? I assume Ziva would be one of the out candidates. Unless it's just a 2-2. 1-1, I should say. Not a 2-2, they'd apply this 4 girls. It's a substitute teacher. Yes. Or we could probably get Oz or that other weird guy. I haven't actually seen a visual novel where you can get both the guy and the girl. Is there one? I don't know. Be interesting to play. Anyway, goodbye. I'm gonna go. I'll continue next time. I think I'll be going for half an hour or something. That's what I try to aim for these videos. They're usually out of 40 minutes. But not this time. Aha. Pull a sneaky under the rug.